Attention speedsters, can we get the ladies to the staging area over by the sport wall, please? Ladies to staging, your time to shine.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to USA Climbing's North American Cup Series Speed Final. I'm Ahmed Toure, and we are broadcasting live from the Goat Climbing Gym here in beautiful Hackensack, New Jersey. Now, a few hours ago, we had our speed
welcome
qualifier,
to the finals
and in that round, we found our top 16 athletes who will now race head-to-head in our final for a coveted podium position. Real quick, we'd like to thank our sponsors: The North Face, YETI, EP Holds, Petzl, Intermountain Health, TruBlue Autoblaze, and Kodiak Bars. Y'all, let's take a look at our athletes. For the women, we've got Cindy Cass, Emiko Takeuchi, Sarah Michke, Ella Adams, Isabella Cogburn, Caitlin Guay, Morel Heilbrunn, Sienna Perez, Anna Shermach, Jojo Chi, Daniela Elias da Silva, Victoria de Souza, Izzy Korf, Kaylee Borick, Skylar Hahn, and Alyssa Chianini. And for the men, we have Colby Gain, Ben Jennings, Lucas Peters, Brandon Roberts, Cole Tang, Ari Barak, Billy Brown, Caden Kang, Jeff Aerosmith, Zayden Rogers, Paul Nagy, Alexander Kovacs, Kellen Gornal, Ethan Frodenheim, Van Malky, and Matthew Baker.
Moves on to the next stage. We're doing top 16 to top 8 to top 4.
And we have Ben Roa, MC extraordinaire, just giving a little quick rundown to the audience on how this format works. And for those at home that are curious, it is a knockout style competition. So as you saw with the brackets earlier, it is just about who can get to that pad fastest. Hear that crowd going. So we have our first athletes. We are pairing the slowest qualifying time with the fastest qualifying time. And everybody that advances here will advance to our round of 8, where we will do another knockout to determine our top 4. All right, folks, and first up, we've got Emiko Takeuchi and Cindy Cass. Emiko in lane A, Cindy in lane B. Good start, safe start from Cindy Cass, but she can catch up. But Emiko is pulling ahead, looking very comfortable. Doesn't look like she'll be able to catch her. And with a 9.78, Emiko Takeuchi will advance to our round of 8. Cindy Cass doesn't look like she hit the pad there, so she will get a D and F, did not finish. And with that, Emiko will advance to our round of 8. All right, and up next, we have Sarah Mitchke and Ella Adams. Ella Adams in lane A, Sarah Mitchke in lane B. All right, volunteers have clipped in our climbers. We'll be getting ready to go in just a moment. Here we go. Again, Sarah Mitchke on the right, Ella Adams on the left. And quick start out of Sarah Mitchke. Ella Adams hanging on, trying to catch up, but not quite getting it. Sarah Mitchke in the zone. And she will walk away with a time of 10.87. Ella Adams with a time of 13 and change. So Sarah Mitchke will be advancing to our round of 8. Our next 2 athletes will be Isabella Cogburn and Caitlin Guay. In lane A, we have Caitlin Guay, and in lane B, Isabella Cogburn. Both athletes clipped in. It's quiet at the start, and here we go. All right, both Isabella and Caitlin going off. Caitlin Guay pulling ahead. Little slip from Isabella could cost her that race, and it looks like it did. 9.75 from Caitlin Guay and 13.51 out of Isabella Cogburn. Caitlin Guay will advance to our women's round of 8. And folks at home, you might see these athletes when they approach. They can go ahead and just start moving that pad around. Everybody's got a little bit of a different style when it comes to speed climbing. You might even see a few of these athletes employ what we call the Tomoa skip, where instead of going far out to the left and then getting back centered, instead they'll just go straight up the wall, hitting what some refer to the one hold or the two hold, depending on where you're from, and pull directly up in a straight motion as opposed to zigzagging at the start. So let's see if any of these athletes are going to pull that off. Up here we have Meryl Heilbrunn and Sienna Perez. Sienna Perez employing the Tomoa skip and seems to be pulling ahead of Meryl's using the standard beta. 10:26 out of Sienna Perez, did not finish for Meryl Heilbrunn. Morel comes to us from the Netherlands, so I apologize if I'm butchering your name. But yeah, we're super psyched to have you in this competition. All right, and up next we have Hannah Shermach and JoJo Chi. Again, just moving that foot pad in the perfect position so that they're comfortable as they can be at the start. There, JoJo has her sensor in position. Same with Hannah. And they're off. JoJo Chi using the Tomoa skip. Looking incredibly fast, pulling ahead of Hannah Shermach. Doesn't look like she'll have it to take it back, and it's 9:35 from JoJo Chi. Hannah Shermach still going and will walk away with a time of 16.49. What a race from JoJo Chi. Incredibly smooth run. All right. Up next, we've got Daniela Elias da Silva. And she's going to be in lane B, and Victoria de Souza in lane A. Speed is just one of those disciplines where you just can't afford to make even a single mistake. A little slip can cost you the entire race, but even if you slip, there's hope that the other person might slip too, so you just got to keep going. And here we go. Both employing the standard beta. Victoria de Souza pulling ahead. It is a tight race here. It could be anybody, but it looks like Victoria is going to walk away with a 10:35 and advance to our women's round of 8. Two more races, and then we will move on to the men's round of 16. All right. Now we have Kaylee Borick in lane A, and we've got Izzy Korf in lane B. It's getting a little pull on that, but not leaving the floor, which is very important. Just making sure that she's got the adequate foot position to really explode out of the start. Again, we have Kaylee Borick and Izzy Korf approaching the start. And they're off with a Tomoa skip and a bit of a slip. Kaylee Borick pulling ahead. And that right there is why you don't give up. 12:19 out of Kaylee Borick, and she will advance to the round of 8. 19:66 out of Izzy Korf. And on to our last race in this round of 16. We've got Skylar Hahn and Alyssa Chianini. Skylar Hahn in lane B. and Alyssa Chianini in lane A. Again, in this round of 16, our fastest seated climber will race our slowest seated climber from the qualification round. However, that is not an indication really at all of who might win this race. Slips happen even from the best of us, so we'll see. Alyssa Chianini and Skylar Hahn, who's going to take it? Alyssa using the Tomoa skip. Alyssa Chianini using the standard beta. They are neck and neck. Skylar Hahn pulling. So close. What a race. With a 10.91 out of Alyssa Chianini, she will advance to our round of 8. What a race from Skylar Hahn and Alyssa Chianini. They were pretty much neck and neck up until the last quarter or so of the wall. Great run out of Skylar Hahn. But Alyssa will advance to the round of 8. And now we are on to our men's final, starting with the round of 16. We've got Colby Gain and Ben Jennings. Ben Jennings on the left in lane A, Colby Gain in lane B. Colby comes to us from Canada. We've got a few more Canadians in this men's round of 16. Colby Gain, Ben Jennings at the start. The most skips out of both athletes. Ben Jennings running incredibly smooth. And with a 6:02, Ben Jennings will advance to the round of 8. Unfortunately, a little slip and not hitting the pad. Colby Gain will not advance. Up next, we got another neighbor to the north, Lucas Peters from Canada, racing Brandon Roberts. Brandon will be in lane A. Well, Lucas will be in lane B. Just adjusting that pad. Clipped in, a final deep breath, and these athletes will be ready to go. Lucas Peters and Brandon Roberts. Lucas with a quick start, but a little stall on the Tomoa skip. Kind of going back and forth here. What's going to happen? What a race. Brandon Roberts didn't quite hit the pad. So Lucas Peters will advance to our men's round of 8. That was quite the dramatic race there. I don't think either of them knew who was going to take that one. Up next, we've got Cole Tang and Ari Barak. That's right, we got Ari Barak in lane B, Cole Tang in lane A. Oh, sorry, I've switched that up. That is Cole Tang in lane B and Ari Barak in lane A. And they're off. They are neck and neck. Who's going to take it? Is it going to be Ari? Is it going to be Cole? And Ari Barak, by the skin of his teeth, will take it and advance to the round of 8. Almost hold for hold. They were right next to each other, only winning by about a quarter of a second. All right. Our women's round of 8 queuing up, getting ready to go as soon as the men's round of 16 is done. Up next, we have Billy Brown and Caden Kang on the wall. All right, we've got Caden Kang in lane A, Billy Brown in lane B. Climbers are at their start, getting ready to go. Caden Kang pulling ahead. Can he keep that momentum going? And he does. 6.58 from Caden Kang will advance him into the men's round of 8. Good flow out of Caden Kang. And up next, from Canada, we've got Geoff Aerosmith and Zayden Rogers. Zayden in lane A, Geoff in lane B. Little slap of the thighs from Zayden Rogers. He's raring to go. Quick start out of Zayden Rogers, and he is pulling ahead of Geoff and will stay ahead with a time of 6.03. Zayden Rogers will advance to our men's round of 8. All right, and with 3 more races to go in this men's round of 16, up next we've got Paul Nagy and Alexander Kovacs from Canada. Alexander in lane A and Paul in lane B. All right, and there they go. Both climbers neck and neck right now. Alexander pulling ahead, and he will take it with a time of 6.77. Alexander Kovacs will advance to our men's round of 8. All right, 2 more races in this men's round of 16, and then we will move on to our women's round of 8. Up here, we've got Kellen Gornall and Ethan Frodenheim. Ethan Frodenheim in lane A and Kellen Gornall in lane B. Just a little bit more adjustment on that sensor, and Ethan is ready to go. Both athletes clipped in. Ethan Frodenheim and Kellen Gornall. Start is neck and neck so far. It is anybody's race. Ethan pulling ahead and remains consistent by 1 full second, 6.46. Ethan Frodenheim will take that race and advance to the next round. And for this last race here in this men's round of 16, we've got Van Malky and Matthew Baker. Oh, I guess we don't have Van Malky and Matthew Baker. All right, well, I have some different information here, but it looks like that was our last race, and we have our men's. And now on to the women's round of 8. We've got Emiko Takeuchi and Sarah Michke. Emiko in lane A and Sarah in lane B. Quick start out of Sarah Michke and Emiko. Very close to each other, neck and neck. If Emiko can keep it together, then she will take it. A little slip from Sarah, but we got it 8.91 from Emiko Takeuchi. and she will advance to our semifinal round, our women's round of 4. Our final round, apologies. Big smiles from the speed climbers there. And up next, we've got Sienna Perez and Caitlin Guay. Sienna Perez in lane B and Caitlin Guay in lane A. Seasoned speed climbers, both of them. This should be an interesting race. Good starts out of both Caitlin Guay and Sienna Perez. They look like a mirror over there. A little slip from Sienna Perez, and Caitlin Guay pulling ahead, and she'll take it with a time of 9:61. Sienna Perez with a time of 11.29. And with that, Caitlin Guay will advance to our next round. What a race. That was close all the way to about 2/3 of the wall, and then that little slip cost Sienna the race. Up next, we have JoJo Chi and Victoria De Souza. All right, both athletes approaching the pad, getting ready to go. JoJo Chi and Victoria De Souza. Quick starts out of both athletes. JoJo pulling ahead just slightly, but a little slip, and Victoria has a chance. So close, 9:44 out of JoJo Chi will advance her to the next round. What a race. JoJo Chi with that little slip gave Victoria the opportunity to pull right next to her and pull ahead just for a bit, but JoJo was able to put it together and win that race. All right, and now we've got Kaylee Borek and Alyssa Chianini. Kaylee in lane A and Alyssa in lane B. Both athletes clipped in, ready to go. And Alyssa Chianini and Kaylee Borek neck and neck. Kaylee pulling ahead. Will Alyssa take it? No, and it's Kaylee Borek advancing to the next round. And Kaylee Borek will advance to the semifinal. All right, and that'll do it for the women's quarterfinal. Women's round of 8, and now on to the men's round of 8 in their quarterfinal. All right, on the left, we've got Ben Jennings, and on the right, Brandon Roberts. Oh, pardon me, Lucas Peters. And again, Lucas Peters comes to us from Canada. Welcome, Lucas. Hope you're enjoying your time here. And Ben Jennings on the left in lane A, Lucas Peters on the right in lane B. And a slip from Ben Jennings If Lucas Peters can keep it together, he will advance in a slip from Ben Jennings. It's going to be a 6.65 for Lucas Peters, and he will advance to our final. A little deflated there. Ben Jennings with the slip. I know he didn't want to see that. Fast climbers all around here. The pressure is on when all it takes is one slip and your comp is done. Up next, we've got Ari Barak and Caden Kang. Ari on the left, Caden on the right. All right, both athletes getting a few more claps and shakes in. Getting ready to start. Ari Barak and Caden Kang neck and neck. It is about to end by 0.01 seconds. Caden Kang will take it and advance to the final. They can't believe it. Big hugs all around. It does not get any closer than that, folks. What a race from Ari Barak and Caden Kang. Incredible race. 0.01 seconds. I've only seen that a few times in my speed climbing career and all my time commentating and emceeing. Crazy stuff right there. Congratulations to Caden Kang on that race. All right, and up next, we've got Zayden Rogers and Alexander Kovats. Both Zayden and Alexander with good, okay starts, and then Zayden with the slip. Can he get it back? Oh! Both athletes miss the sensor. Both athletes missed the sensor after such a dramatic race. None of them know what to do right now. So they're going to take a minute. They're gonna, so it looks like the athletes, the officials, they're having a little conversation, trying to figure out what they're going to do. And it sounds like they're about to go one more time after a short little break. You tap Stevens, he disappeared from the right corner there. But just making sure that everybody's good. Looks like there may be a little bit of blood going on here. We want to make sure that these athletes don't bleed all over the holds. So stand by, folks. Folks, if you got the time, like right now, there's a little bit of time. You should go back, watch that race, and go back and watch Caden Kang and Ari Barak's race. I have not seen a race as dramatic as this one in a very long time, but I have not seen a race as close as Ari and Caden's in years. For real. My goodness. Fantastic speed climbing out of both athletes. Looks like there's just a little bit of blood on the knee there. We just need to stop that bleeding before we let these athletes get back on the wall. Simple health and safety issue there. But as soon as they've figured that out, get a little wrap going, we'll have these two back on the wall, and we'll see which one will advance to our final. All right, there go the scissors. Looks like we are about to be underway here in a minute. And real quick, let's shout out that EMT real quick. Thank you. We always have to have one on site just in case anything more dramatic happens. Thank goodness that's all we've seen so far as injuries. All right, folks, and we're back at it. Zayden Rogers and Alexander Kovacs for their second run. All right, better start out of Zayden Rogers. And he's going to take this race with a 6.13. Just goes to show you just don't stop and you keep going. You never know what could happen. Some good sportsmanship out of Alexander Kovacs and Zayden Rogers. We love to see it. All right, and it looks like we have Ethan Frodenheim, and there's Van Malky. Looks like Matthew Baker was not in line, or do not know the reason for that quite yet. But because of that, Van Malky automatically advanced this round. So it'll be Van Malky and Ethan Frodenheim, Ethan in lane A and Van in lane B. Both with a little hesitant start there. Ethan Frodenheim pulling ahead, and he's going to take it with a time of 6.41. Good race from Ethan Frodenheim and Van Malky. And with that, we have our 4 athletes advancing to the final. Let's talk about that final real quick. We will have our top 4 athletes come out, and each of them will race head-to-head like we've seen right here. However, the winners of each race will advance to the big final. The losers of each race will advance to what we call our small final. The big final will be the race that determines who wins our gold and silver medals. The small final, the losers of the next race, will race one more time to see who wins our bronze medal. So we're going to do that for the women, and then we're going to do that for the men. Then after that, we'll go into our small final and big finals for each, and we will see who wins our gold, silver, and bronze medals today. So they do need a little bit of a break after once the quarterfinal is done. There is a mandatory rest period for all of these speed athletes. The women had, I believe, a long enough rest almost at this point. They should be starting here in the next minute or two. And the men, they just finished, so they're going to have a little bit longer. But we have the women's final to get started first. Few of those races, and all of a sudden we'll have our men up there. So earlier we saw obviously a tie from that race where neither athlete finished. In that case, there is no mandatory rest period at both athletes, since they both just got on and they both tied. They're going to well, in this event, they got a little bit more rest with the little bleeding incident that we had, but in normal circumstances, both athletes would just take a breath, get clipped right back in, and then get right back onto the wall. And now just introductions for our finalists. We've got Emiko Takeuchi, Caitlin Gui, Kaylee Borick, and Jojo Chi. So in order, we've got Emiko, we've got Caitlin, we've got Jojo, and we've got Kaylin. And for the men, Lucas Peters, Caden Kang, Zayden Rogers, and Ethan Frundenheim. And these are our finalists, our top 4 in each category. All right, all athletes are back in the staging area. We're going to get started with the women. And our first race up will be with Emiko Takeuchi and Caitlin Gui. Clippers are out and ready to go. And our officials will wave our first two climbers to their positions in just a moment. And here we go. All right, and again, first up we have Emiko Takeuchi in lane A and Caitlin Gui in lane B. Emiko got her sensor in place, same with Caitlin. Clipped in a big breath out of each. And we will see who advances to our big and small finals here in this race. So no matter what, both athletes will be racing again. Emiko with a quick start, but Caitlin pulling ahead, getting, neck and neck. And then Emiko pulls ahead again in the middle. And Emiko will advance to our big final with a time of 8.80. Caitlin Gui did not win that race. She will advance to our small final and a chance to win the bronze medal. And now with our second race for women, we've got Kaylee Borek and Jojo Chi. Jojo Chi in lane A and Kaylee Borek in lane B. Jojo Chi, Kaylee Borek, who will advance to our big final and small final. Good starts out of both athletes. They are neck and neck right now. Kaylee Borek, Jojo Chi. Slip from Jojo Chi. And that will secure Kaylee Borek in the big final. Jojo Chi will race Caitlin Gui in the small final. And now on to the men. First up, we've got Lucas Peters and Caden Kang. Lucas Peters coming into us from Canada will be in lane A, and Caden Kang in lane B. Caden Kang with a terrific race earlier, beating Ari Barak by 0.01 seconds. What a race. Let's see if he can let it ride. Lucas Peters and Caden Kang. And they're off. Good starts from both athletes. And a slip. A slip from Lucas Peters will guarantee Caden Kang the victory with a time of 6.32. Caden kept it together, and with that, he will advance to our big final. Lucas Peters will climb in our small final in a moment. And up next, we've got Zayden Rogers and Ethan Frodenheim. Zayden Rogers in lane A, Ethan Frodenheim in lane B. Zayden had a bit of a dramatic race earlier as well with Alexander Kovacs. Had to run twice, and fortunately for Zayden, he was able to pull ahead in the second race and advance to the final here. Let's see if he can keep it going and advance to the big final. And there goes Zayden and Ethan. Zayden with a quick start. Ethan trying to catch up. Can he do it? Not quite. And with our first 5-second time in this final, we got a 5.93 from Zayden Rogers. And with that, he will advance to our big final. Ethan Frodenheim will advance to the small final. All right, folks. And now we're gearing up for our small finals. In the women's small final, we will have JoJo Chi and Caitlin Guay. All right, and here they come, JoJo Chi and Caitlin Guay. Caitlin Guay in lane A, JoJo in lane B. And here we go, starting off with our small final. Again, this will determine who wins our bronze medal at this event. All right, we've got Caitlin Guay and JoJo Chi in our small final. Who will take the bronze medal? Caitlin and JoJo neck and neck so far. JoJo pulling ahead slightly. If she can keep it together, JoJo Chi will be our bronze medal winner here at the GOAT in Hackensack, New Jersey. And Caitlin Guay will walk away with a 4th place finish. Great race out of both athletes. Wow, what a race. And now, folks, we will move on to our men's small final. So there's a mandatory 5-minute break that the athletes must take after their previous run when they are in the final. So we're just running out that clock right now. You can see the athletes, Ethan swinging his arms around. Lucas just sitting there for a bit, just running out that clock. Dealing with that mandatory rest period before they can go and rev their engines and fight for that bronze medal. Got to give it up to Ben Roa. Just feeding that people that good information. And bringing the energy. Love that guy. All right. Looks like we're just about a minute or so away. We'd like to take this time real quick to thank our sponsors one more time. We've got the North Face, YETI, EP Holds, Petzl, Intermountain Health, TruBlue Autoblaze, and Kodiak Bars. Right there we have Ethan Frodenheim and Lucas Peters. All done with their mandatory rest period. Lucas Peters in lane A, Ethan Frodenheim in lane B, getting in position. A fun little tidbit right there. The person clipping in Lucas Peters, he's also our VP of Sport, John Muse. Shout out to John Muse. We love you, buddy. And there we go. We got Ethan Frodenheim and Lucas Peters. right, who will take that bronze medal? And they're off. Lucas Peters with a slip. Ethan Frodenheim is going to keep going, and that secures the bronze medal for Ethan Frodenheim with a time of 6.28. He is psyched, hanging on the wall a little bit, pumping his fists. And Ethan Frodenheim will take the bronze medal. Good sportsmanship from Ethan Frodenheim and Lucas Peters there. And that will conclude the small finals for both the women and the men. Now on to our big finals. And here we go. In our big final, we've got Emiko Takeuchi and Kaylee Borek. Emiko in lane A, Kaylee in lane B. Who will take gold? Who will take silver? Both of these athletes want it bad, so let's see who has the composure to pull it off. Climbers approaching the start. And there goes the beeps. Kaylee Borek with a pretty good start, but missed the foot. Emiko pulling ahead. If she keeps it together, she will be our gold medalist with a time of 8.59. Emiko Takeuchi will be our gold medalist, and Kaylee Borek will be our silver medalist. Good sportsmanship from Emiko and Kaylee there. All right, folks, we have our last race in this final, the big final for the men. And that's going to be Caden Kang and Zayden Rogers. Caden Kang in lane A and Zayden Rogers in lane B. Again, this will determine who wins our gold and silver medal. Both athletes want it bad. Who is going to do it? The pressure is on here. Zayden with a good start, but a little slip. And Caden Kang is going to take the race by 0.05 seconds. Caden Kang will be our gold medalist with a time of 6.17. Zayden Rogers will walk away with the silver medal, and that will conclude our big final and our speed final. Caden Kang is psyched. They're jumping up and down, both Emiko and Caden. Love to see all these athletes just jubilant after such a close race. Alyssa Chianini, Jojo Chi, Emiko Takeuchi, Victoria D'Souza, all together there celebrating. Folks, what an epic competition. Some drama, really, really close races from some of our athletes. Caden Kang pulling it together in a few really, really close races, including that one where he won by 0.01 seconds against Ari. Now, in that final, that was close from start to finish. First, we had Zayden pull ahead at the start, little foot slip, and then Caden was able to make up that time and that space and pull ahead, get a little bit behind in the last bit, but then pull it together in the last 5 meters and was able to walk away with the gold. Wow. We had an incredible tie earlier today as well, where both athletes did not finish. Now, in the event that happens, normally after a climber is done, they would have a mandatory 5-minute rest period before they have to get back onto the wall. However, in the event of a tie, that rule no longer applies. Both athletes will just take a short little break, less than 5 minutes, and once both athletes are ready, they're clipped in and going again. Wow. Incredible competition so far, not just with speed in the lead events earlier too. If you are on your computer right now, have the day, go back, take a look at those competitions as well. Incredible show from the speed athletes today. And real quick, let's just take a look at our podium. We know for a fact Caden Kang is going to be our gold medalist in speed. After that, we have Zayden Rogers, and in third, Ethan Rodenheim will take our bronze medal. For the women, we've got Emiko Takeuchi taking the gold medal. And then after that, we've got Kaylee Borek with the silver. And in third place, let me look back and confirm real quick. Don't want to give you guys any information that's wrong. That was Jojo Chi. And if we look back on the competition floor, we've got officials, we've got athletes, parents, everybody just hanging around waiting for our award ceremony to kick off. We take a look around at the gym one more time. We are at the GOAT in beautiful Hackensack, New Jersey. What a gym. These walls are approximately 60 feet tall, 20 meters. If you take a look here, these were some of the finals routes and some of the semifinal routes from our competition yesterday and the day before. On the right, it's been tweaked up quite a bit, actually, but that was the women's route, the all black on the right. And on the left, we had the men's route. Yeah, if you take a look in our YouTube channel, you can go back and take a look at all the semifinal and finals actions from the lead competition, and as well with the speed competition. Looking ahead, we are incredibly excited for YETI National Championships happening next month. That will be held in Salt Lake City. So if you're around, that's going to be from the 12th to the 16th. So if you're around, please swing by, grab a ticket, come swing by and see the athletes. If you're not, stay tuned, come onto the YouTube program and watch over here. It's going to be quite a competition. The best athletes from all over the country and all over Canada and Mexico will come up and show us their stuff. See who's got the stuff to make that podium. So if you are unfamiliar, that we are going to be having that competition at the Salt Lake Training Center for USA Climbing. So that has been where we have hosted many of our international competitions, including our World Cups for the IFSC. So please check it out. It's going to be incredible. Again, the YETI Climbing National Championships going to be held in Salt Lake City, October 12th through 16th. If you can't make it out, get a ticket, hop onto the YouTube, and we'll be covering all the action right here. All right, right now we're just waiting for that award ceremony to kick off. Officials are just making sure all the times and everything is official and right before we get our athletes up there. Don't want to make any mistakes here. All right. Well, again, folks, we just had an incredible final. Lots happened in this final, including a tie and a lot of really close calls, a lot of back and forth in all of these races, people pulling ahead and then falling behind and then coming back from behind to cinch that victory. Speed is an incredibly fickle and a lot of pressure in that sport, you know. I was a speed athlete for quite a while. Back in the day, my last World Cup year was 2016. And speaking from personal experience, there is nothing more exciting and terrifying than getting onto that start and hearing those three beeps before you go. Any slight mistake, an inch off on the foot or on the hand, a little too deep or a little too far back, and you are slipping for sure. Now, slips, as we've seen, they're going to happen, but it's all about, can you pull it together and keep going? If you do, you never know. Slips happen with everybody. Your opponent might slip right after you do, and as long as you keep going, you might just have a shot to win. So, speed is an incredible discipline. I love seeing more and more athletes get into speed and just doing incredible things to push the sport. As you guys know, Sam Watson recently won a bronze medal at the Olympics, and that is an athlete right there that is pushing the sport to new heights and new limits. He's on that road to sub 4.6, I believe, for sub 4.5, I believe. And if anybody can do it, I believe it's Sam Watson. So be on the lookout for Sam. You can follow him on Instagram, and I'm sure he is very, very good about keeping everybody up to date on his progress and speed. So take a look at that, as well as all of our speed athletes at this competition. A lot of them have Instagram handles, and just make sure that their fans, their family, their friends, supporters are just keeping track with what they're doing on that wall. So take a look at that list and give them a follow if you can. And while we're still waiting on the podium or the award ceremony to get kicked off, just a quick reminder to please try and volunteer as much as you can at these USA climbing events. These events cannot happen without volunteers coming in and pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into these events. The athletes certainly appreciate it. I very much appreciate it, and so do the officials. So please keep doing that. And real quick, gotta thank the sponsors, keep the lights on. So we'd like to thank the North Face, YETI, EP Holds, Petzl, Intermountain Health, TruBlue Autoblaze, and Kodiak Bars. Without them, we cannot keep the lights on and have these broadcasts, so thank you very, very much. All right, sounds like we've got Ben Roa on the floor making a little announcement there. Looks like just another announcement just to mention that we are still waiting on this award ceremony. So hang tight, folks. And we will have our podium finishers out in just a moment. Again, with the end of this competition, we look forward to the YETI National Championships happening next month. It's going to be from October 12th to the 16th, and will be held at the USA Climbing Training Center in Salt Lake City. If you're unfamiliar with the training center, that is where our World Cups have been held, our U.S. World Cups for the IFSC competitions. It is quite something to see. There's a standalone sport lead wall that hangs right outside of the bouldering-like area. And inside, you'll also see a pretty massive bouldering competition wall where all of the IFSC events have been held. And right next to that freestanding lead wall, we have an official speed wall as well. It's quite something to see, so if you have the time, go ahead, grab a ticket, and we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you right here on our YouTube, giving you guys the play-by-play as the event goes on. There is still one more North American Cup Series competition happening in Richmond, British Columbia. The dates for that are going to be early October. Let's double check that real quick. And that is going to be the 4th through the 6th. 4th through the 6th. It's going to be our last national or North American Cup Series competition before Open Nationals. It will be lead and speed, just like this competition here. So be on the lookout for a link being dropped by USA Climbing probably later. Check them out on their Instagram to get the so there will be no stream for that competition. However, you can definitely take a look at the results if you take a look at the CEC website. And with that, we are getting started with our awards ceremony. Ben Roa, bring in the hype. Thanking all of our volunteers, belayers, officials.
TruBlue, and all of our amazing gold and volume sponsors. Give it up for Climate Partners.
And give it up for Ben Roa as well. All right, folks, looks like we are going to be starting with our women's podium. And here come our women's speed medalists, positioned in front of their spots on the podium. And in 3rd place, we have JoJo Chi, winning the bronze medal. In 2nd place, we've got Kaylee Borek winning the silver medal. Close race between Kaylee and Emiko. And here comes Emiko Takeuchi, our gold medalist here at the GOAT North American Cup Series competition in the discipline of speed. And real quick, here we are, our women's speed podium. Oh, and there it is. I was waiting to see when they would all hop on the 1st place podium and take that picture. It's a pretty long-standing tradition. Oh, Kaylee Borek having a little trouble with that 2nd place placard. Oh, we're all fun and games here at USA Climbing. And now on to the men's podium. And in 3rd place, taking the bronze medal, we have Ethan Frodenheim. Zayden Rogers will be taking our 2nd place position and silver medal. And our gold medalist, well earned, Caden Kang. Incredible races from Caden Kang today and all of our athletes. And that will be our men's podium as well. Ethan's a big boy. He can barely fit on that thing. And folks, that will conclude our speed final here at the GOAT in Hackensack, New Jersey. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors one more time: the North Face, YETI, EP Holds, Petzl, Intermountain Health, TruBlue Autoblaze, Kodiak Bars, and all our other various volume and hold sponsors. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to our speed final here today. We will see you guys again at YETI Open Nationals in mid-October. We'll see you there. Have a good one.